once you're good mentally, you're doing things that are good for your mental health, automatically your confidence is going to build as well, because you're going to show up differently. You're going to show up more confident. Hi, my name is Gloria Malenzi. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, we're answering your question, one of the questions that I actually got. So I did a post yesterday on Instagram story to ask me anything, and one of the questions that I got was how to build confidence personally and professionally. And I didn't want to answer this question together with the other basic questions that I got. I wanted to do a separate video for this question specifically because I thought it would be an interesting topic to share with you guys, and hopefully we can dive deeper, give more information, and then everybody that is watching the video can benefit from it. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll please ask you before we even get started to please hit the subscribe button. Just hit subscribe right now. Thank you so much, and let's dive in. All right, so tip number one is to practice self-care. So when I think self-care, sometimes with this, IG and TikTok and all of that, you can imagine, massages and bubble baths and all of that good stuff. But really, when I think of self-care, it's just having a routine, and that is extremely important. I remember just a couple of years back when I used to work for a hotel, and I used to have like a very specific morning routine. This morning routine was consistent for me. I was doing the same routine every single day for like 2 months, and just during that time I noticed like such a big difference in my life and in my confidence as well, right? So what did I do for my morning routine? I was reading. I'll start with reading just a book, like whatever book I've picked for that week or month, whatever. I was just reading my book. I'll do some stretches in the morning, some affirmations, meditation as well, and journaling. So these were like 5 things that I would try to do every single day. And then of course some days I may skip one and just do 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. But just having some kind of morning routine is really good for your confidence, because what you're doing when you're starting your day, putting yourself first, putting your mental health first, the rest of your day kind of follow with that, right? So we have to be mindful in taking time for ourselves, right? Doing things that are good for our mental health. Once you're good mentally, you're doing things that are good for your mental health, automatically your confidence is going to build as well, because you're going to show up differently. You're going to show up more confident. Once you have started your day kind of following that routine, you trust yourself that if I was able to follow this routine for this day, everything else will fall into place, right? And you're also kind of dictating how your day will go as well. So definitely I would say the first tip that I would share is to practice self-care in whichever way that means to you. If it's journaling, if it's meditation, if it's exercise. Like for me personally, I would love if I was that kind of person that would just wake up in the morning and go for a run. I think that would be so cool. But exercise hasn't been something that I'm consistent with, or I've tried to be consistent and just get the best results. But I wish I was one of those girls. But for me right now, what self-care could look like would just be journaling, meditation, reading an interesting book that I'm going to learn from, things like that. All right. The next tip I would share would be set achievable goals, right? So what does this look like? For example, if you want to be the kind of person that is like in the gym, every single day, let's say your goal is fitness, right? What could that look like? To start with, you may say, I will go to the gym, or I'll go for a run or a walk once a week or twice a week. So in your brain, sometimes your brain can fool you to make you think like, oh, that is so little, like you should be there like 3-4 times a week or 4-5 times a week. But the truth is, when you're setting this kind of like big goals like that, it's very difficult. It's like close to impossible to achieve, and you just end up giving up super quick. You start the first week, you're going 3-4 times, and then by the 3rd week of the month, you've given up because you missed 2-3 days or whatever. So setting achievable goals, even if it's a very small goal, but as long as it's achievable, that's a very good way to start. And yes, if it's journaling, could be I'm going to start just once a week. I'm going to even start journaling once in 2 weeks, right? As long as it's a routine that you're setting up for yourself and you're achieving that goal, that's going to build confidence in you, because what your brain will say to yourself is that I'm able to achieve this. I set up this goal, let's say to go to the gym once a week, every single week, but you've gone there for the month, once a week, every single week, right? So 4 weeks in a row, and you'll feel proud of yourself that I set out this goal, as small as it may be, but you ended up achieving it, right? We want to avoid setting up these unrealistic goals that we cannot achieve, and we end up beating ourselves up. We end up making ourselves feel bad about it, and this does hurt your self-confidence. And then of course the same could apply at work as well. Whatever it is that you're tasked to do with, you may find opportunities at your workplace for improvement, and you may talk to your boss and ask, I see that in this area we're struggling a little bit. I would like to kind of take the initiative and get this started, like kind of improve this specific area. But you just want to set a task that you'll be able to manage, and give yourself grace. But you want to set a task or commit to something that you will achieve, and in the end you'll be proud of yourself and your boss will be proud of you too. The next step would be to face your fears. I have shared before, just 2-3 videos back, I believe, on this channel, and that was just my fear of even like starting this channel and uploading videos for the first time. It was extremely stressful for me. I was terrified. This was a couple of years back, but the day where I was going to upload the first video, I felt like I was going to throw up, literally. I was extremely anxious, extremely terrified, and even after I posted, it was private for I think a few hours, maybe the full day, and before I made it public, kind of thing. That's how scared I was, right? But I just had to go through that first step, and then all the other videos that I kept uploading after that, it was a lot easier. And even now I'm able to record so easily. I think part of it, of course, is by the grace of God, but I'm even able to just record super easily, and I don't have to think twice about uploading videos, right? So I just want to challenge you to think of something that you would like to do, but you're absolutely terrified of doing it. And this could even be something, could even be once a year or once in 2 years you're facing your fears. But I promise it's going to build your confidence tremendously. You'll feel as though, if I can do this, as terrified as I was, if I could do that, I can do anything. I even remember, like, when it comes to like these adventurous activities like skydiving. But for me, I did this thing, it was a couple of years back. It was one of the trips, school trips or whatever it was, I don't remember. But we had to rappel off a cliff, like from the top of the cliff going down the cliff. I was really young at that time, but I was extremely terrified. Like, anyone that has done rappelling before knows it's extremely scary. But I remember doing that activity and getting, from the top. While I was doing it, I was crying at some point. I was so scared. I could not keep going. But at some point, I ended up kind of like finishing and getting to the bottom of the cliff, and it felt so good. I remember, like, that specific day when I finished that, nobody could touch me. I felt like I'm invincible. So these kind of activities, these kind of like really scary activities, they're really good for our confidence. You will feel, even though it may last a few hours, but if you kind of choose to indulge in that more, it can even last a few days, where you just feel so confident in your head, like, if I was able to do that, I can do anything, right? So I would just challenge you, pick one thing that you're terrified to do, and just make a plan, make a goal, and just do it. Get it done. The next thing I would share is to embrace your strengths. Sometimes I think as women, we are modest, right? When someone gives us compliments, even at work, sometimes I get a little bit shy, like, it's okay, like, don't say that, and this is not good for our confidence. It shows like you're actually not confident, right? You want to, when someone gives you compliments, when you're at work, they're celebrating your wins and all of that good stuff, you want to be the person that is like, thank you, like, I did work hard for that. I did do that. Like, I did that kind of thing, right? So just embrace when people are giving you compliments, when people are sharing their appreciation to you for the things that you've done, as small as they may be, as big as they may be. Take it all in, take it all in, take it all in. Don't be shy about it, right? And with strengths, you just want to take the time and write everything down. It could be your previous achievements, things that you don't think you could accomplish, but you did, right? I sometimes even forget, like, when I was in uni, I actually graduated with honors, But sometimes I even forget. I don't take it as a big deal or something like that. But sometimes when you're feeling really low or you're feeling really down, it is good to kind of like go back to the list of your achievements and your accomplishments, because I did do that, right? Not everybody graduates with honors at the end of the day, right? So it's good to have a list, write down your list of things that you're proud of yourself. And you know, apart from achievements, just for you, who you are as a person, like your character, right? You have qualities about yourself that you're proud of. You know, you may be the kind of person that is, you know, a hard worker, you're a patient, or it could be that you're smart and could very like resilient, or you're consistent with whatever you choose to do. You're a go-getter, you know, all these qualities that you may have. And you don't have to hear this from somebody else. You just have to start with yourself, thinking of this of yourself, right? Writing everything down and just going over it, you know, from time to time. That will help build your confidence. And if you do kind of list down your strengths of things that you're proud of, qualities in yourself that you're really happy with, once you kind of put your focus on those things, other qualities are going to start popping up as well, right? It's kind of like a seed you're planting, and it just bears like amazing fruit. Okay, the next thing would be to positive affirmations, right? Positive affirmations, I've mentioned them before. I believe it was one of the videos, tips for fear of rejection. And honestly, positive affirmations, they would work for a lot of the videos that I'm going to do in the future, right? Like overcoming failure, the tips for staying motivated, like other videos that I want to do on this channel. Affirmations somehow are just linked to it automatically, and that is because it's extremely important. Like our self-talk, how we speak to ourselves, is extremely important. If you are saying good things to yourself every single morning, every single night before you go to bed, whatever circumstances show up in your life and people from outside, whatever comes up and they're saying that to you, once you have that built in your head, in your mind, body and soul, it's very difficult for you to be affected by the opinions of others, right? So positive self-talk at that is extremely important. People have like I even see like sometimes in movies and TV shows I watch sometimes, where people just have like sticky notes on their mirror of like just affirmations. I've never had those sticky notes on my mirror or anything like that, but even if it's just 5 minutes every single day, but just taking the time to say, I am strong, I am capable, I am smart, I am beautiful, all those things, it is so good for your mental health, and it's so good for your confidence as well. Even saying I am confident, you're struggling with low self-esteem and you're saying to yourself, I am confident, I am confident, I am confident. Even at that time when you have really low self-esteem, just saying that to yourself every single day repeatedly, your brain just starts to believe it. Your body just starts to believe it, and just somehow, some way, people may even start telling you like, oh my gosh, you're so confident. How are you so confident? And you're wondering, really? You really think that? Right? But of course, as I mentioned before the tip, you don't say, oh my God, I'm not. It's like, yes, thank you. You have worked hard to get to that place, right? So you just want to embrace those compliments. So yes, positive self-talk, even writing it down, affirmations. It doesn't have to be speaking, you know, in the mirror or just saying it to yourself. Even writing down in your journal, whichever area you're struggling with, just speak to the opposite of that. Like if you have a fear of this, speaking to, you know, having the strength to do certain things. So like if you have so low self-esteem, you're saying I'm confident. If you feel like you're ugly, saying I'm beautiful. If you feel like you're dumb, saying I'm smart, kind of thing. Whatever it is you're struggling with, just speak to the opposite of that by writing it down, by just repeating to yourself those positive affirmations every single day. And trust me, it works. Okay? And the next tip is to surround yourself with positive people that will support you and encourage you. Their positivity and encouragement will boost your confidence. I have also, one of the videos that I did, I don't know which one, but I did talk about being around people that love you and care about you. If you have, you know, a boyfriend or fiance or husband, they need to be your number one support, right? Apart from your family, of course, but they do need to be the kind of people that encourage you and support you. Definitely you want to surround yourself with people that are positive, people that love and care about you, and they're going to definitely boost up your confidence as well. Because if they're seeing these amazing qualities about you and they're kind of like reaffirming that to you, even though you may not see it for yourself, as they keep saying it to you over and over again, you will start believing it, right? Especially especially for someone that you're spending, let's say, every single day with, right? Like, let's say if you live with your boyfriend or your partner, husband, whatever. If you're living with them every single day, and then they're giving you like affirmations, like speaking positivity towards your life, even though at first you may not believe it, or you may think, oh, you know, or it could be your parents, right? You may think, oh, my mom, of course my mom is going to say that, or my dad, of course my dad is going to say that. We may take those things for granted, but they definitely help with your self-confidence. And people that are the opposite, people that kind of try to bring you down whenever you're around them, it's negativity, people that refuse to celebrate your wins, you kind of want to distance yourself from those people. Sometimes you may have that. I think there's this therapist on Instagram, her name is Nedra something, I think, but she talks about boundaries, right? Because sometimes you have people in your circle, like let's say people that you cannot avoid. Let's say, for example, your family members. So you may have family members that are, or even let's say your parent, both your parents, one of the parents, that actually they are the negativity. They are the ones who are bringing your confidence down. And what you want to do in those kind of scenarios is to keep your distance, kind of creating those boundaries, to spend less time with them, right? If it's before you were going there, spending time every single week or every day, you want to reduce the amount of time. And of course, ideally, if you're not living with them, right? But you want to reduce the amount of time you are spending with them. So it doesn't matter, like family or not, we can still create boundaries. We can still, you know, make a conscious decision to spend time with people that care about us, people that love us, even if it's just one person or two people. Those are the people you want to actually keep close. Those are people that you want to embrace, because they are going to help in building your confidence. I hope that video helped. I actually just read that question today morning, and I did this video this exact same day. So I just came up with the tips like super quick, but I hope they were helpful. I hope they were useful. I hope, you know, if you can just take one tip out of it, one out of all that will help you, that will mean a lot to me, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. As again, I'll remind you to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.